So we find out through Edward Snowden's revelations, now this is in ProPublica and New York Times, that it turns out the NSA and the CIA had another brilliant idea: infiltrate gaming networks, where the terrorists clearly are. So they infiltrated the world of Warcraft, Second Life, and Xbox Live. Now they might have done more, but that's the memos that have been revealed so far. They had a team called Exploiting Terrorist Use of Games and Virtual Environments. That was the title of this task force and the project. And what did they do with this? Well, they had, quote, network gaming exploitation team. Who puts exploitation in the title? Like, it's time to exploit the network gaming arena. Let's put a team together. Who's going to be good exploiters? You go get them. You take World of Warcraft. You take Second Life. Go. Probably they just wanted to play the games. Here's an NSA document from back in 2008. They said that this was that these games were, quote, a target-rich communication network. Okay, fascinating. In that same document, they said virtual games are an opportunity! Exclamation point. Yeah, they're an opportunity for NSA agents to play World of Warcraft while on the job. Okay, now look, it's actually not as bad as it sounds, because in Great Britain, they apparently did have some crime ring that used to steal people's credit card information, communicate through some games. So it's not inconceivable that it could have happened, and I'm not over worried about them looking into this. I wouldn't have spent a lot of resources on it unless you had evidence. Like if you had evidence from some communication between terrorists, hey, go on to Second Life, that's where we'll communicate, then by all means, have at it, Hoss. But if you're sitting around just fishing around, like going around to World of Warcraft and doing this and that, like in case you stumble into a terrorist, that seems massively inefficient. So how did it work out? Well, quote, the documents do not cite any counterterrorism successes from the effort. Oops. But they do cite hours and hours of wonderful gameplay at NSA and CIA. And also, by the way, Great Britain's intelligence forces as well. As ProPublica explains, but for all their enthusiasm, so many CIA, FBI, and Pentagon spies were hunting around in Second Life, the document noted that a deconfliction group was needed to avoid collisions, and the intelligence agencies may have inflated the threat. Do you understand what the deconfliction group is? There's so many guys from FBI, NSA, and CIA, they keep running into each other. I don't know if the problem was they kept killing one another's characters, but they needed a whole deconfliction group to sort out the network gaming exploitation team. Meanwhile, is anybody getting any work done? Are they catching any terrorists? None through this program. Yeah, that's our government dollars hard at work. Now, who might have already known this if they had asked? Well, funny enough, it turns out online there was already speculation from gamers that they might have been infiltrated. And for example, Dia, who's apparently a goblin priest, wrote at the time, if they ever read these forums, they would realize they were wasting their time. But here's what you might not understand, Dia. That might have been the point. Okay, I'm sure they had a lot of time a lot of fun wasting their time. Now, why did they do this in reality? Well, this part of the article might begin to explain it. Eager to cash in on the government's growing interest in the virtual worlds, several large private contractors have spent years pitching their services to the American intelligence agencies. Aha, there we have it. So there was a lot of money to be made. So people go in and say, oh my God, you guys aren't checking World of Warcraft yet? Oh, no, you got to pay me millions of dollars, including your own employees, millions of dollars through all their man hours, for us to go on there and to get it. How do we know they're not on there if we're not fighting one another on there? Just let us spend a whole bunch of time trying that and see how it turns out. They got paid to do this. Man, with private contractors, there's a new scam every single minute.